Hello and welcome to the very last show of the semester. I don't know if I'm happy or sad.
I'm happy.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll try not to take that personally.
No, it's good for you.
And today's topic is going to be very special because I think we almost never discuss this due to the time, but today is going to be about Christmas.
Which is still like a month away.
Yeah.
But that's good. Yeah. We're in the spirit of the season. I'm
Yesterday we won the
Christmas song
Oh, yeah.
competition.
Christmas song competition, so yeah, we're in
Oh,
mood.
you guys, because I was unable to stay for the awards. I saw all of the singing. Why don't tell the audience what happened? Because this was the first time you guys have done this, right?
We won.
Yes, but explain what the event was. What did you win?
Oh.
Okay, well, it was a contest about, I don't know, if you were taking any language class, you could participate with the entire course and with the teacher, and you had to put up like a sketch or a show or song, anything related to a Christmas song, and then you would go there and compete and sing or act or,
Yeah, and it was organized by the
By the
Delk.
Department
Yeah.
of Languages and
And
Culture.
and Alan, who works with us on the show, was essential in coordinating that, along with Josue, right? And there were groups that sang. There was a group that sang in German.
Yeah, there was one in German,
And many of them were English classes, and they sang in English.
Yeah.
and we sang in 7 different
Yeah.
languages.
So I didn't. So tell the audience a little bit about. Because I didn't know that song. I didn't recognize that song.
Really?
Eh, no way.
No.
It was a fun song, but I don't think I know. I don't think I know.
Have you ever seen The Nightmare Before Christmas?
It's a movie.
Jack
Disney.
Skellington?
Yeah, but that came out like in the 90s.
1993.
Yeah, because I
99.
3.
99.
3.
Oh, wait.
split the difference. It came out in 1996.
No, it was in 93.
Okay, because I remember seeing that in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was see that
Oh
in
my
theaters.
gosh.
Wow.
I was little, but I mean, I saw it in theaters, but I don't remember the song. I haven't seen it since I was 10 years old. I don't think
Okay,
so.
that explains a lot.
So it's from that movie. So what was the song?
It's a song called What's This? It's the part where Jack Skellington goes to the Christmas town and he starts to see the snow and how happy they are and the gifts and the hugs and everything.
Okay.
So he's describing that aspect of Christmas, and we decided to sing it in Spanish, German, English, Nahuatl, Chinese, Portuguese. I'm missing one.
French?
And French.
French, okay. Yes, so you guys are, so your group is you are in the mainstream of Delk, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
Los Hijos Pródigos.
So you had an unfair advantage. You stacked the deck. But no, it was a lot of fun and a good thing for Delk to put on, right? Like singing in other languages, and that is, I don't know, that's for me one of the more difficult things in learning a new language is understanding songs because they speak more quickly. Anyway, but we're very much in the spirit of the season here at UPAEP. Classes are almost over, exams are going on, people are writing essays. This is our last show, right? And we have another student from Delk with us here today. Why don't you
The special
introduce
guest, the
yourself?
former host of this show.
Yeah, so my name is Manuel Aguilar. I'm 20 years old. I used to be how do you say, anterior?
Former
The
host.
host of the show.
Mhm.
And Victor asked me to come for the last show, so I said yes, because I kind of miss this place.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and I will be continuing next semester, but you guys will be. We don't know.
We
We
don't
don't
know.
know. It's all up
If
in
you
the air.
invite us, maybe.
You're always invited. You're always invited. So we've got as we said, right? We're in the spirit of the season. So what? So it's Christmas, Xmas, Navidad. What? Tell us about. I mean, so are you guys excited for Christmas? I mean, what does Christmas mean
Yes.
to you guys and your families and your towns and your?
Well, I'm sure I come from a Catholic school, from a Jesuit school, and my entire family is Catholic, so I know that that's the day when supposedly Jesus was born.
Mhm.
And, well, Maria and Joseph
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
went to Belen
Mary and
because
Joseph, yeah.
they needed to have this census, and then she was about to give birth, and they were looking for an Airbnb maybe
for
and
shelter.
for shelter, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's what happens. Also
Mhm.
with the star and the three magician kings and the rest of it. But I know that it's celebrated at 24th because it has its roots in another ceremony, a pagan ceremony, the day of the rising sun or
Mhm.
something like that. That's what I know. That's my knowledge.
It's not in the notes.
Yeah, it's not in the notes. That's what I know.
Okay.
But what do you guys know about it?
What do I know about Christmas?
Besides from the gifts and
Oh,
happiness.
okay. So I know that it's celebrated differently in different countries. They have like different traditions, and it also depends a lot about the religion. Not all religions celebrate Christmas, and not a lot of people actually. I think nowadays people are not seeing it as a religious thing. It's more like a holiday in general. It has become a little bit more oriented to being with the family and the people you love, and it's also more oriented to the part of giving gifts and receiving gifts, more than the whole religious situation. A lot of people are ignoring it nowadays more. For example, here in Mexico, there is this kind of old tradition that not a lot of people follow. For example, my family doesn't do it. That you have to lay down baby Jesus.
And then you have to
on the-
kiss him.
Yes, so you have like how do you call that?
The
Where
figure.
Jesus was
Nativity.
born.
The manger.
That.
The manger.
Manger.
Manger. Como
Manger.
like the
Pesebre.
Hmm?
Pesebre.
pesebre. Es el edificio.
No.
No.
Like the whole scene.
Like
of-
the
the nativity.
Moses.
Nativity, yes.
The nativity
The
scene,
nativity.
Nativity.
Yeah, the nativity. So you have like the whole nativity thing going on, and then you have like Jesus Christ, like
A figure.
kind of an action figure.
Statue. Action figure.
A figure like in a
Max
statue.
Steel.
Yes, and you have it here, and then you have to like pass it around with your whole family, and you have to pray, and then you have to lay it down on the
But
bed.
before you have to, you must have like a special cloth, and then you need to
Mhm.
mecerlo.
Oh, that's
I don't know
true.
Hmm?
how to say mecer.
Like
Exactly.
swinging it from
Swing
one-
it, swing
a
it,
baby,
swing a
Well,
baby.
Like to rock a baby.
To rock.
You rock, yeah.
Like you rock the world.
Slightly different.
Okay.
I think etymologically it's probably related. By way of
So you
Yeah.
have to rock it. And
And after you put it on the bed, you have to kiss it, and like there's a whole religious thing going on in there, and not a lot of people do it anymore.
Mhm.
I don't know if your families do it.
my grandma does it. It's and every single Christmas we have different pictures of the exact same scene because we need to do it every single year. But yeah, we do it. I know.
Fair? Do you do it?
I remember my grandma used to do that long time ago, but nowadays, like, nobody wants, so she stopped doing that.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
we had something similar in my family when I was little, that we wouldn't pass around the figure of the baby Jesus, but on Christmas morning, when me and my cousins, we were all at my grandmother's house with our aunts and uncles and everybody, and on Christmas morning, the figure was hidden until Christmas morning, and then you'd take the figure out and you'd put it in the nativity scene, and then we would all sing Happy Birthday.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
To do with
Yeah.
that.
and we weren't allowed to take any presents or open up any presents
Until you find it.
until we sang. It wasn't hidden. It was just sort of away. The figure was usually it was on like a table with a drawer in it, and the Jesus was in the drawer, and we opened up the drawer and put him in the nativity scene, and then we would also. But as kids, we weren't allowed to open up any presents until we. So it was a way, I think, of maintaining some sort of remembering what the day was actually supposed to be about. Yeah, those are traditions from years ago. But, yeah.
Well, yeah. Then
That.
that.
But that's interesting that there is similar sort of the nativity scene and the role that plays in a house on Christmas Eve
But-
or Christmas Day.
But also that figure, that action figure of Jesus has a lot of things to do throughout the entire year, because I've seen banners that say "Se visten niños Dios," and then according to
Like people dress like
Them-
during the year, like
according to the
according to
to
the
the
holiday, to
season.
the season, and also because I think it's more like you should not like. It's also related to faith. Like if you have a baby that is not covered, like the baby will
die.
like be cold and die. So it's more like if you keep your Jesus like alive and well taken care of, like Jesus will look up for you and
And dance the pasito perro.
things like that. yeah, exactly. It's more related to faith, that figure, but not a lot of people do it anymore.
Okay, and I mean we should also mention, right, that the words, right, in different languages are related to, right, nativity, right, whether it's Navidad or Natale or in Italian, right, or Noel in French. I believe all of these. I mean, according to your research, Fair, right, that these words are related and having to do with the nativity.
I really don't know what to say.
And I mean, but in German, right, the German word is I can't pronounce that.
Weihnachten.
Yeah, I've got an exam tomorrow about that, and I don't know how to say it.
Well, give it a shot.
Where is it?
In-
Okay.
Yeah, Weihnachten.
Yeah.
And there are, the teacher told us, but I kind of forgot. But there is not just about one day; it's about 2 day celebration. It's a 2 day celebration
In Germany.
in Germany.
Oh, so cool.
And also, I mean, in terms of the right secularization of the holiday that you mentioned, right, that it's, you know, obviously observed by Christians and non-Christians alike, right? The tradition of Santa Claus sort of playing a role in that, right? In the maybe the gift giving of the season, but shifting into maybe a more commercialized holiday, right? And it's interesting. I was reading before coming into the studio today that even in a lot of places that don't celebrate Christmas, you know, that don't have a Christian tradition, that we're not. A lot of the places around the world that celebrate Christmas obviously have, you know, we're, you know, in further flung places, non-European countries, have a history of colonization, and so religion and Christmas traditions were sort of imported. But even places where that didn't occur, that Christmas in its sort of secular form is a holiday not celebrated for any religious reason, but, you know, a reason for shopping and going out with friends and exchanging gifts, and it, you know, has arrived in different places through a sort of secular manner. What's
Nothing.
but other notes about Christmas before I think we're coming up on our first break, but other notes about Christmas before we take our first break.
Okay, so, well, what's your favorite? Yeah, we're gonna have time. What's your favorite thing about Christmas?
My favorite thing.
Yeah, what's your thing?
I think the one thing I enjoyed the most about the whole. Do you ever feel like the whole holiday or just the Christmas day?
Like the entire period of time.
I think I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. It's something personal, but I do feel like a positive vibe that I don't really feel during the year, and I think it has to do with a lot of factors. Probably one of them is as Nathaniel was saying, the commercial thing. Like all the big enterprises start to have like very positive merchandising, like Coca-Cola, for example. Exactly. They start to send like very happy and positive commercials, and all the other brands start to do the same. So you start to feel yourself with positive energies, and because you are surrounded by it. And I mean, even though it's a little bit commercial, I think it's cool to have like everybody's feeling that kind of thing. I think that's one of my favorite things about Christmas.
What about you guys?
My favorite thing are the lights. I love to see the
La
city.
Villa Iluminada.
Yeah, I love Villa Iluminada. I love the lights, to see lights everywhere, full of colorful. I love it. I love it. Really, that's my favorite part. I don't know why. I love it.
And you, Victor?
Well, besides from the fact that I don't have to do any kind of essay or research paper, to have time to spare and to use that time with my family. Because during the entire year, I tend to have a lot of things, activities, congresses and stuff. So during that time, there's almost nothing to do academically. So I've got time to, I don't know, for myself and to spend time with my family. Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
And you, Nathaniel?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy spending time with my family. Where I'm from, there's usually snow at Christmas. It's usually the winter has begun, and I like the lights. I like the snow. I like the season, and it is not. I mean, I do like the Christmas carols. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of them I don't like, but there are some that I like very much. Some of the do you guys know the Charlie Brown Christmas special, the Charlie Brown Christmas video?
No.
It's very, well, you know Charlie Brown and everything.
Yeah.
The guy
So
from
it's-
Peanuts.
Yeah, the Peanuts, the Peanuts Christmas, right? The music from that I think is my favorite Christmas music. I could listen to that like all month long, all of December. That's what I listen to. But if you don't know it, it's old, but I thought everybody knew about the Peanuts and Peanuts Christmas.
Maybe if I listen to it.
It wasn't
Maybe.
that popular here in Mexico, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's yeah. I mean, I like the spirit of the season, like you said. But yeah.
And the gifts.
And the gifts. The gifts are nice
Yeah,
too.
also I like that there's a sum up of all the things that happen in the year in the world. So in December you start to see, I don't know, the good stuff and the proofs of humankind that big companies put up together. So for the news, the video of the year, and then you see people helping others during the entire year. So they gather them at the end of, in
Oh,
December.
right, yeah. And then the rest of the year, it's just
Yeah.
everything just goes downhill. All right, well, we are up on a break. We'll be back to talk about some Christmas traditions around the world, and specifically we want to talk about traditions in Mexico. Looking through our notes here, I have a lot to learn about the holiday here in Mexico.
Are you going to spend the holiday here, or you are flying?
I'll be with my family for Christmas, but I'll be back just a day or two after Christmas.
So you're
I'll be in
spending New
Mexico
Year's
for
here.
the New Year. Yeah, so you'll have to tell me about that too. Anyway, but we're up on a break. We will be back in just a moment with more Radio Culture Shock.
UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario. Misión.
Crear corrientes de pensamiento y formar líderes que transformen a la sociedad, en la búsqueda de la verdad, integrando fe, ciencia y vida. Valores.
Junto a la verdad, el bien y la belleza, nuestra universidad sostiene como valores rectores la dignidad de la persona humana, la libertad, la solidaridad, la subsidiariedad, la congruencia, el respeto, el amor y la justicia. Visión.
Somos una comunidad universitaria fraterna, congruente, alegre y comprometida, que es referente en la conjunción del pensamiento humanista, cristiano y las ciencias, que forma integralmente líderes con alta calidad profesional y compromiso social. Contribuye a la transformación de la sociedad con propuestas pertinentes, orientadas a la consecución del bien común. Tiene presencia e influencia en los ámbitos local, regional, nacional e internacional. Centra la gestión en la persona y optimiza los recursos al servicio de la misión institucional. Líneas rectoras.
Atreverse a vivir congruentemente nuestra identidad, como ejemplo de virtud en el servicio, con respeto y amor al prójimo, para la transformación social en orden al bien común.
Privilegiar a través de la academia la formación humanista cristiana en busca de la excelencia científica y profesional, con pensamiento universal y trascendencia social.
Crear sistemas académicos de auténtica pertinencia social, a través de la docencia, investigación y extensión, para enriquecer la cultura y participar en la solución de los problemas fundamentales del país.
Involucrarse en la formación y desarrollo intercultural de la comunidad universitaria a través de ámbitos y vínculos de internacionalización.
Lograr ambientes de confianza, colaboración y servicio, dentro de una cultura de austeridad, transparencia y evaluación. UPAEP, rumbo al 50 aniversario.
Tienes un reflejo digital. ¿Sabes cuál es el tuyo? Ven a conocerlo. Big Data y yo.
Visítala en Museo UPAEP, de lunes a sábado, de 9 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde. 11 Poniente, 1914, Colonia Santiago. Entrada libre. Edis Interactive, Televisa y Museo UPAEP te invitan.
Soy de Tlaxcala. Amo la naturaleza y disfruto mucho leer. Estudio administración de empresas y elegí hacerlo en UPAEP, porque aquí combino una excelente preparación con aquello que es mi gran pasión, ayudar a la gente. Mi historia comienza aquí. Descúbrela en upaep.mx/soy UPAEP. Soy Alexandra y soy UPAEP.
Anyway, we are back, and today, well, we have a Vox Populi, so
Yes, we do. Word on the street.
exactly.
Voice of the people.
Let's see what the people thinks about Christmas.
Shock. El día de hoy vamos a estar por el campus preguntando sobre qué saben. Bonito miércoles, radioescuchas de Culture Shock. El día de hoy vamos a estar por el campus preguntando sobre qué saben sobre la Navidad y cómo lo celebran. Vamos a verlo. ¿Tú de dónde crees que proviene esta festividad de la Navidad?
La verdad, es complicado, pues yo esperaría que a lo mejor, no sé, del Medio Oriente, supongo. Es que no me acuerdo, de pequeño escuché historias, pero no, como no me importaban mucho y más que nada me concentraba en, solo recibir regalos y comida, pues así son la verdad.
Bueno, ¿y de dónde piensas que proviene esta festividad, la Navidad?
Pues la verdad no estoy muy seguro de dónde proviene, pero sé que se celebra gracias al nacimiento de Cristo y pues todo lo que conlleva pues su nacimiento.
Bueno, ¿y tú cómo lo celebras?
Pues yo soy de Veracruz, bueno no, mi familia es de Veracruz, entonces de repente vamos para allá y lo festejamos en familia, hacemos una cena y después vamos a misa.
Bueno, ¿y tú de dónde crees que viene esta festividad de la Navidad?
Es una festividad de origen católico, yo creo que es.
Bueno, ¿y tú cómo la celebras?
La celebro con mi familia, acostumbramos a realizar una cena, pero bueno, en esta ocasión la celebro con Navidad, la celebro con mi familia paterna y Año Nuevo con la familia materna, así es como nos dividimos y pues organizamos juegos, prendemos el arbolito, acostamos al niño Dios y pedimos posada y está cool porque pues como que primos grandes y chiquitos nos juntamos y pues platicamos de lo que haya pasado en el año o cómo nos va, porque pues en pocas ocasiones nos podemos ver todos.
Bueno, pues muchas gracias. Bueno, ¿y tú de dónde piensas que proviene la Navidad o esta festividad?
Pues yo creo que varía dependiendo como de cada cada estado, especialmente en México, pues tenemos como diferentes costumbres. Es más como lo del nacimiento del niño Jesús y todo eso, pero pues no tiene como que tanto que ver con lo de Santa Claus y eso de Estados Unidos, es más.
Bueno, ¿y tú cómo lo celebras? ¿Con Santa, con los Reyes, el nacimiento de Jesús? ¿Cómo lo celebras?
Pues cuando estaba más chica con los Reyes, era así como pues los papás y así todo, pero generalmente pues es más como nos unimos en familia y hacemos alguna especie de cena desde el 25 de diciembre y pues ya desde el 24, Nochebuena y ya.
Bueno, y para empezar, ¿tú de dónde crees que viene esta festividad que es la Navidad?
Bueno, pues yo soy católico, entonces yo creo que, bueno, sé que proviene sobre todo del nacimiento de Jesús.
¿Y tú cómo lo celebras?
Bueno, pues lo tradicional, nos juntamos en familia y hacemos una cena y también vamos a una misa.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Dar regalos como a las 12.
Ya, estamos de regreso. Entonces, so we heard from some of our Upayup community about their celebrations and what they do and where they're going for Christmas, how they're celebrating it. What are your plans, guys? Once you finish with exams.
I think start with the Maratón Guadalupe Reyes.
Okay.
Ahí vamos.
Warming up.
No, but first, do you know what is Maratón Guadalupe Reyes?
Explain him, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it begins on December the 12th, and it's called Guadalupe Reyes because on the 12th of December we have this, ¿cómo se dice?
Virgen de Guadalupe celebration.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and it finished on January the 6th with Reyes Magos.
But I think that needs to be extended up to the
Actually,
to February the 2nd
Yeah.
because of Candelaria.
Yeah, but a lot of people forget about Candelaria. Like, you always are with your family with
On
the
the 6th.
rosca, and it's like,
You should
okay,
wrap it
yeah,
up
you
and
have
then
to
we'll-
bring tamales, and for the next Candelaria,
It doesn't happen.
nobody has
Nobody
tamales.
Okay, so what is explain in a little bit more detail. What with the Virgen de Guadalupe is the 12th of December,
Yeah, so it begins
and
everything.
that is the apparition of.
It's like the whole
to Juan Diego,
season.
or-
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
commemoration of Juan Diego and the Virgin.
So the appearance of the Virgin Mary to Juan Diego in Mexico. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know why it starts there because is there a typical dish or why do you start eating there?
Oh, so this is the marathon of eating.
Mexico.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
when
I
we
have
talk
heard
about
this.
Yeah,
So
it's not
explain
eating.
about what is this marathon of eating?
So it's usually like because this is the time of the year when we eat the most.
Okay.
Well, we'll
Like-
always eat, but
I mean, but because we have like an excuse to eat a lot. So on the 12th of December, we usually get together like with family to eat. At least that's what we do with my family.
because of the Rosario.
Yes. Then it goes.
Rosario? Rosario?
Normal,
Rosario.
but what does this have?
But because of the Virgin Mary, you go there and then you pray, you offer a prayer, and once the family finishes praying together, then they have tamales.
I feel like a foreigner now.
It just came to my head, but yeah, that's why it starts there.
After that is the Christmas dinner, and then you usually eat
No,
all-
posadas.
Posadas,
Oh well, yeah,
posadas.
yeah. So from the 12th of December to the 24th,
Okay.
you usually have what we call posadas, which
Okay.
is a party you do at night, and it's the representation that Mary
Just
and Joseph did, like
Through
walking
the
around the
journey-
desert and
journey.
Okay.
like looking for shelter. So you usually like you celebrate with your family or with your friends, and then you have a lot of things to eat, like tamales and
Yeah, you have
Pozole.
the piñatas, or you also have candy.
Okay.
And
So
Actually,
this is every day for those 12 days. You have.
no, not
not
every
12
day.
day. I think it starts 7 days before Christmas.
It starts on December 16th.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
9
actually
posadas.
the origin of the piñatas are from this celebration because they like the traditional piñata has 7 spikes and they're the representation of the 7 deadly sins. So you smash it like on the representation of.
So that a traditional piñata is one of those with the different.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why in the United States they have this piñata, which is like a horse with different
Like a
colors,
burrito.
like a burro.
Yay.
A donkey. We don't have it.
That's
yeah.
fine. That's
No,
fine.
yeah, it doesn't happen here. We don't have it.
Okay, so but the
Yeah.
traditional piñata has the 7 spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it actually has a religious.
It has a
Yeah.
religious meaning, yeah.
Okay, the 7 deadly sins, and it's traditionally this time of year that people.
Yes.
And is it always filled with candy?
And
Well,
with
we
fruit.
want it
And
to
fruit,
be
okay.
we want it to be filled with candy, but if they're
sometimes it's
typical families, they have fruit.
Yeah.
Okay, fruit like dried fruit or like apples?
No, like
Apple.
no, they don't have
Yeah,
apples.
but
They have
they don't put
tejocotes,
apple.
jícamas, caña de azúcar.
Okay.
What else?
It is very hurtful. Because when it breaks, the whole fruit comes into your head.
Yeah, so you can
It's very
you can get
dangerous.
your head smacked.
Well, that's why maybe like dried fruits, like maybe like uvas.
Yeah, but we don't care.
No, they're like really heavy fruit, like hard fruit.
Like pineapples and coconuts.
Almost. Well, like jicama can be.
Yeah, jicama is way too strong.
But jicamas are like.
Yeah,
How
they're in
big
there.
is the piñata?
Piñata is very big. It's like
Okay,
this.
so
Yeah,
okay,
also-
so it's like that. Okay.
Also depends because
Because the
well,
jicama can be big. and-
it's safer to have a piñata made out of newspapers, but there are also ones
yeah.
made out of
Clay.
clay.
That's very dangerous.
So when the clay breaks, like it also hits you. So,
So
it's
you
very
get
dangerous.
Okay, so when during the 9 days of the posadas, they're called.
Yeah, posadas.
So that's from the 16th to the 25th.
So 24.
24th. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's something every night, or
It's supposed to have something every night, not with the same people. So, for example, you can have one with your family,
Okay.
one with your friends, one
One
with
with your
just your
coworkers.
cousins, one with your coworkers.
but it's 9 days of.
You're supposed to have it for 9
festivities.
days.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, and with the tradition, you have to ask for posada, which is when you sing, and then the group is divided into 2 different sections. One is asking for shelter, and the other ones are giving the shelter.
Okay.
So yeah, you sing.
So the
And
whole.
what-
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, and the whole chant is like the story of Mary and
Joseph.
I keep forgetting his name. So yeah, the whole chant, because it's like very long. It's like 20 minutes long or something, and it's the whole story they're doing until they arrive to the house that let them stay in the barn.
Okay. And so, what is there like a specific night when the piñata is? When a piñata is?
No, it's
All
like
nights.
every
there's
night.
a
Every
piñata.
night there's a piñata.
Yeah.
Because it's cool.
Yeah, no, that
It also
sounds
has
great.
peanuts.
Yeah, you also put peanuts in it.
Don't forget about the peanuts. and so there are the posadas, and I'm also seeing so there's something similar or something or related, the pastorelas, or
Pastorelas
They're
related to
like
school.
things.
okay, so that's
Yeah.
more like a community celebration or something.
Yeah,
With
because
the
we don't
school with the-
celebrate it.
Okay.
We take it more like, for example, the school play
Okay, so it's more
or
like
something like that.
Yeah, for the kids, they are the ones that have the pastorela,
And so-
unless there's a contest.
And so what is the pastorela exactly? It's sort of like a play, but it's the play of the nativity, the Christmas.
Yeah.
It's the play of the how Jesus was born, right?
Okay.
And it's usually like here, I don't know, here in Mexico, because like you can modify the dialogues into like criticals for the society or
Or funny stuff.
or
Yeah.
more funny stuff.
Also, I think that the most important character of the entire play is the devil.
The devil.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, really?
he's
Okay.
he's playful and he travieso.
Naughty.
He's
Yes.
Naughty?
Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah.
yeah,
Naughty
he's
works.
naughty, so he does a lot of things. So
Okay.
he's the most important one because he's the one that brings funny comments to the
Okay.
script.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you guys do these when you were in school?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot say that you're Mexican if you haven't participated in one.
Okay. And so what are sort of the jokes that the devil tells or the things that he does?
The
So
ones I
you said
can
there's sometimes
remember.
social commentary or there's sometimes
Yeah, the ones I can remember is that I don't remember like the joke exactly. It's just more like I remember that during the time I did it, the devil was doing like pranks.
Okay.
Like for example, hiding people's clothes Or I remember that it stole the wise men crowns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so things like that really.
Yeah, also I remember that I was watching one, and then the shepherds needed to set up a fire, and he was just blowing onto the lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the devil is the one who's like making the mess and
Okay,
stuff.
so he's interrupting. So the procession to get to the nativity or something, he's interrupting it, and he's okay. Yeah, okay, now I get it. That sounds like fun, but it's mostly for kids though.
Yeah, it's for kids, definitely.
Okay, and so what are and then there's also what Noche Buena.
Yeah, that's Christmas Eve.
Okay, that makes sense. The good.
And then you
night.
usually like it's definitely with your family, but I know some people that do it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't spend it with their family; they spend it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
I've known some people like that, but usually it's about family and you eat a lot.
Okay.
Like seriously, a lot.
Okay, and the beer, right? Noche Buena. La cerveza is named after that.
No, that's named after the flower.
Okay, but the flower is named after the day?
Yeah, because the flower has its season to blossom,
Okay.
and it blossoms during this time of the year.
Right, so it's sort of like a Christmas. Yeah,
Yes, it's the Christmas flower.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas flower,
So
yes.
we call it poinsettia, right? Or poinsettia in English, right? That's with the red leaves and the red and green. Right?
How do you call it?
Poinsettia or poinsettia.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds very technical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where the word comes from, but people decorate with them, and because they're Christmas colors and are typically red and green, and that flowers. I don't know if that's or either that or the holly with the green spiky leaves and red berries, right? The Christmas wreath sort of thing, red and green. So the Noche Buena is the flower.
Yes.
And it's called that because it blossoms and blooms this time of year.
Yep.
Close to Noche Buena.
Yeah.
And then the beer
It's named
after the flower.
Yeah.
And
Also, the logo of the beer is
Right.
that flower.
It's the flower.
Okay, and so that beer, it's only in the fall, right? It's only like starts to, you see it in the stores like this time.
Yeah, actually.
Actually, I don't like it, but.
Oh, see, I don't know. Everybody says it's great. I've tried it. I think it's nice.
I can't remember the taste, actually. I can't remember.
Now, well, you know what to do during lunchtime.
Yeah.
Before the exam.
Before the exam.
So we're almost up on a pause or on a break, but Noche Buena is also the Misa del Gallo. No?
It says here, the midnight
But
mass.
you don't call it the Misa del Gallo.
I don't do it. I've heard of it, but I've never done it. Where you go at midnight to celebrate. Instead of eating, you go to a mass.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it too, but I don't
You
do
guys
it,
don't
definitely.
do
I think you need to be really, really Catholic to do that.
Yeah,
Because it varies. Like in the United States, when people go to mass for Christmas, sometimes it's on. Well, my family, we always went on Christmas Eve, but not at midnight. We would go at before Christmas Eve dinner, right? Like many people go Christmas Day, in the morning, but some people do go to midnight mass. But it depends.
Yeah.
Here in Mexico, not so Misa del Gallo is something for not everybody does that.
No, you need to be really, really Catholic.
And it's not that popular, because I didn't even know that was the name.
Oh, okay.
So, no.
I mean, I had heard it before, but...
I just knew that people went to masses.
Okay. Well,
that's it.
Okay, well, we are coming up on a pause. I want to learn more about Dia de los Reyes. And,
Yes.
and Rosca de Reyes and all of that. And I also want to know what you guys are doing for Christmas. And other things in Mexico, right? So there's some real, like some of these pueblos mágicos, right? Have specific celebrations and traditions and all that. And we will talk about those when we get back from our break. This is Radio Culture Shock.
Tú tienes un reflejo digital. ¿Sabes cuál es el tuyo? Ven a conocerlo. Big Data y yo.
Visítala en Museo UPAEP, de lunes a sábado, de 9 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde. 11 Poniente, 1914, Colonia Santiago. Entrada libre. Edis Interactive, Televisa y Museo UPAEP te invitan.
Soy de Tlaxcala, amo la naturaleza y disfruto mucho leer. Estudio administración de empresas y elegí hacerlo en UPAEP, porque aquí combino una excelente preparación con aquello que es mi gran pasión, ayudar a la gente. Mi historia comienza aquí. Descúbrela en upaep.mx/soy UPAEP. Soy Alexandra y soy UPAEP.
Anyway, we are back on the last segment of the last show of this semester.
Yeah, everybody's a little giddy. Everybody's a little silly today.
And so we were talking about Christmas Eve, and I think we're done with that.
We're done with it. Never talk about it again.
Yeah, you just go with your family and you eat a lot.
Mhm.
And if you are really Catholic, you go to Misa del Gallo, but I
Okay.
don't.
Or if you're from a more traditional pueblito, the
Yeah.
Misa del Gallo is more of a, you were saying during the break that it's more traditional in smaller towns and pueblitos. But what are some of the other, because you said that the season should last until Candelaria, which is in February.
Yeah, we're
We're
on our way.
What are some of these other important dates?
Well, you have Christmas at the next
Right,
day.
right, Christmas Eve
So
and Christmas.
usually you eat the leftovers.
Yeah, so we call it the leftover days
Okay.
because there's a lot of food left
From the night before.
So you usually get together, but I don't know if everybody does it. My family, we have dinner. We usually finish at 2 or 3 in the morning, and then by 10 or 11 in the morning of the same day, we get together in the same house to eat again.
No, I don't do that.
So what do you do with the leftovers?
Nothing.
You eat them during the
You eat
entire
them alone.
week.
The thing is that my grandmother
She
is
throws
the
them to the trash.
No.
She throws it.
The
to
thing is that my
trash.
grandmother cooks, so my grandmother keep all the food in her house, so we don't have any leftover.
So she keeps all the leftovers to herself?
Yeah. I don't know why she does do that, but she keep it.
No, for me, I go to my grandma with my grandma, but from my father, from the side of my father, during Christmas Eve, and then during Christmas I go with my other grandparents. That's what I typically do.
All right. And do you have the leftover day on the US?
Well, so we do two different meals. So on Christmas Eve, this is my family. And every family is a little bit different, right? Of course. But on Christmas Eve, it's usually we'll have carne, like roast beef or something, right? And a different dinner. And then Christmas Day in the afternoon, something very similar to Thanksgiving. Actually, we'll have a turkey and stuffing and potatoes and gravy and all that kind of stuff. But yes, then we have leftovers all week, right? So we have, there's a lot of cooking beforehand, and there's always a lot of sweets and pastry and breakfast, not pan dulce, but because it's different in the United States. But we have a lot of sweet sort of coffee cakes, or breakfast croissants or rolls or whatever the different kinds of sort of sweet breakfast food, and so the whole week. And then with the turkey, right, the leftover turkey, you make turkey soup, right?
Turkey soup?
Soup, yeah, like chicken soup, but turkey soup.
Oh,
but with turkey.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
But you make the caldo, right? You make the broth from the bones of the turkey, and you boil them, and you make the broth, and then you have that
You eat
for.
the bones.
You don't eat
The
the bones. You make the soup from the bones, right? And so that's what we do in my family, and we'll have leftovers all week, and then because usually, at least in my family, Christmas with my extended family, my aunts and uncles and cousins, we would have everybody would gather for not just Nochebuena and Christmas Day, but maybe for 4 or 5 days, like for almost a full week. Especially when we were little and we were on vacation from school. And so yeah, but a lot of eating, of course.
Because, yeah, I actually know that from the US. Because you move when you're too young, and like the family gets very separated during, like, as they grow old.
Right, as people get older and go to college, or they get jobs and they move.
So so they usually take Christmas to get like all of them together, right?
Yeah, either Christmas or Thanksgiving. It
Yeah,
depends
we're
on the
talking
family.
about Thanksgiving might be in some cases more
significant,
because
bigger.
Because I mean, for even though Christmas is, secularized, I mean, it still does have, for a lot of people, it still does have the religious significance, and not everybody's celebrating it as a religious holiday. I mean, it depending on family and tradition, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but you're right.
Because here in Mexico, like families live together, like on the same city.
Right.
So you see your family like during the whole year.
Yeah.
But in the US, like you usually take these times of the year to watch each other, right?
Yeah, and everybody comes back home, and that's why the airplane, the airports and everything. It's horrible to travel.
Yeah.
But you guys also celebrate the Epiphany, right? The Dia de los Reyes.
Yeah, but we're on our way.
Yeah. We're not there yet.
No,
not yet.
Well, here, obviously Santa Claus comes and brings gifts to the children.
Yeah. I've noticed that even here, like the decorations, like
there's
like snow. And
Santa Claus. From influence from the US.
Yeah.
So Santa Claus, actually, baby Jesus used to come before. Okay. I don't know, like in the 60s and 70s.
There's still people that like they don't ask for presents to Santa Claus. They do it for baby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it depends a lot on the family. So for example, in my case, I did ask to Santa Claus for presents, but a lot of my friends used to ask to baby Jesus.
Okay.
Anyway, so
that's
the 25th. Then December the 30th. 31st.
31st. New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the same deal. If you are if you have a special bond with your family, it's kind of like the same thing. But this one, other people, and I think more people tend to celebrate it with their friends rather than with their family. Mm-hmm. It's a more friendly.
It depends a lot. So, for example, in my case, or a lot of my friends' case, we have dinner with our families, and we spend like the New Year's moment, like on the midnight. And after midnight, if you want to go with your friends, like to a club or something, you can go. So that's what I do on New Year's Day. But
here there's a space for friends.
Yeah,
Not like in Christmas where you spend the entire night with the family.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There's a space to be with your friends.
Yeah, so usually a lot of young people after midnight here in Mexico, they go to clubs or they go to...
Or they travel.
Or they decided to travel.
With their friends.
It's not a very familiar party. It's more like a party in general.
Sure, yeah.
For the word Dr. Z said, desmadre.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. his favorite Spanish word. And then, so after New Year's Eve and New Year's Day...
On New Year's Day, you have the leftovers from the night before.
Yeah, the leftover day. And then we get to the Reyes Magos, right?
Yeah, to the Epiphany.
You call it the Epiphany?
Epiphany, yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. All right, so it's usually on the 6th of December, in January, sorry. And you ask them for presents. That's basically what you do. Okay. In my hometown, they do like a parade. Like
really?
The Desfile de Reyes is actually quite famous.
Well, you have La Villa Iluminada.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of things in my hometown. And
where are you
from Atlisco.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's a famous Pueblo Mágico.
It started to get famous.
I think it was. It's not Pueblo Mágico anymore, right?
Yeah, we're not Pueblo Mágico anymore.
Oh, no.
Because we have Liverpool now. And that, like, automatically takes the title.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. This is... Okay, but...
So, yeah, we have this, like, parade on the 6th. And, I mean, a long time ago when I was a child, it used to be, like, from cartoons. Like, the cars. But now, because of the writer... like...
Copyright?
Copyright. We have, like, original characters. And it's usually, like, a with teddy bears and stuff. And at the end of the parade, the 3 kings come, and you have a balloon, and then you throw the balloon to the sky, in order to like
contamination.
Yeah, I know, but like you do it because you want to send the letter to them. That's what we do on my hometown. I don't know in here in Puebla.
We don't have the parade, but we also do the balloon thing, and then we have on the same day we have Rosca de Reyes. Okay,
and a few days before also.
I do it on the 5th. I don't know you.
I should do it on the 7th.
I do it on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th.
I know.
Yeah, because there's one with your coworkers, one with your classmates, one with your family. Yeah, so you have a lot. It's not just one Rosca de Reyes.
Okay, so what is the Rosca de Reyes for all of the
Is it bread? Is it bread? Is it
sweet bread?
Rosca? I don't know.
Okay. Oh,
it's like a big donut.
Yeah. And inside there's little figures of Jesus baby.
Action figures.
Okay.
Action figures.
And you have to cut the rosca, this bread. And if you got the little Jesus, they say that you became the godparent of Jesus that year.
Okay.
So for the 2nd of February, you have to give tamales to everybody. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why the 2nd of February, but 2nd.
Okay.
Dia de la Candelaria has something to do. It's an important
I don't know.
date, but that's not.
Okay.
It's not a random date. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure we'll
not
talk
random,
about
but-
Candelaria in February on this show.
Yeah.
So it's a good reason
Without
for
us.
Well, you can come back, or you should, if you can't come back as
guests.
guest, then you should at least listen so you can figure out what Candelaria is.
And so that basically marks the end of the whole eating season.
Okay.
And after that, everybody says like, "Did you gain weight? Did you like?"
Yeah. Of course I did. Obviously, that's when everyone starts signing up for the gym.
Yeah. No, it's the same a little earlier in the States. It's usually after New Year. Right, New Year's resolution. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to go to the gym. And, but it's the same thing because everybody from Thanksgiving basically to Christmas, because that's like you were saying, all of the holiday parties either at school or with your coworkers or this and family and visiting and lots of drink and lots of food and lots of festivities, right? And unhealthy food too, like a lot of sweets
and flour, a lot of flour.
Yeah, a lot of flour. Right? So so there are some other things in
Puebla?
Oh, I thought you were leaving.
No, sorry. I just have a problem with my finger.
No, we've got other festivities in Mexico, right? So you mentioned that Lisco.
Yeah.
And there are other, which is not a Pueblo Mágico anymore.
No, sadly.
Pueblo Mágico de Chignahuapan.
Yeah. So there's the Christmas balls? No.
Christmas spheres.
Christmas spheres. You call it spheres.
Spheres.
Okay. So
Christmas ball. Yeah, to hang on the tree, right? Yeah.
So you have a fair for that, and
but the fair is on from October to November. It's not anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that
No,
either.
they changed the dates of it.
I don't know why they do it on those dates, but yeah, it's always in October, from October to November.
Yeah,
but the thing that is good in Chignahuapan is that people says that it's always Christmas in there because you can see everywhere full of this Christmas fear, no matter if it is November, October, September, April, etc.
Yeah, also I think that the huge tree they have on the Vatican City, in some years there are Christmas spheres from Chignahuapan.
Okay. They send them all the way too. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Because it's very beautiful. I mean, they are all handmade and
They're expensive.
And they're very
They are.
expensive, yes.
No, they're not expensive.
And the ones that are handmade,
yeah, they're not expensive, really.
because you have the money.
You know?
And there's also, I'm seeing in our notes here in Huehuetla, there's a Feria de Café.
The coffee fair.
And have you guys ever been to that? Or?
No.
I've heard of it. And I was invited once with from one of my friends, but I didn't go.
Okay.
But I've heard of it.
Okay, and what about here in Puebla? There in Cholula, there's the Festival Catrina. And
That's only a music concert.
Oh, it's just a music concert.
That's
So it's
something
not really.
that's something to do.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
doesn't have to do with Christmas, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you are a foreigner,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
you are going to stay here in the
Mhm.
city,
go.
you can go.
And what about the Perogato Fest in Puebla?
And
That's
another activity too.
Okay, so more just it's not have to do with the holidays. It's more just sort
It's
of.
a posada for your pet.
Oh, it's a posada for your pet.
They say so. I don't
Okay.
know. I've
That's
never
what
been to.
that's what the script says.
Okay, so
Never
that's,
been
those
there.
are the
what
notes that we
internet
found.
say.
Okay, but so you guys don't, as Poblanos, you guys don't go to that usually.
No,
Not really.
In here we only have this again Christmas concert like no sé. Yeah, we only have that. And fireworks.
And New Year's concert too.
Yeah, and more fireworks.
Oh,
Yeah.
fireworks, yes.
Yeah, fireworks I think are kind of typical here in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, they throw a lot of them, but like a lot.
We throw fireworks a lot during the year. They're very Mexican.
Okay, and we have just a minute left.
So what are you going to do this holiday season?
Well, I'll be traveling back to the States and hopefully going skiing in the snow, in the mountains, in Vermont.
Okay.
What about you guys?
Humanly.
I'm actually just going to stay in my hometown and I'm going to work because I have a food thing.
Puesto, a food
yeah.
truck.
No, it's not a food. It's a food stand in Villa Iluminada, so I'm probably going to work there.
Okay.
And you, Victor.
I used to go to Misiones, but I'm not going this year. And also another friend told me that she can lend us her house in Veracruz, but I don't think I'm going. I think I'm just going to stay with my parents.
Me too, just boring Christmas.
Oh, but sometimes those are the nicest
Yeah.
holidays.
Sure.
Right? Just with your family. Very laid back. Always very nice. And how's your Nahuatl? Can you pronounce before we go? Can we say Merry Christmas in Nahuatl or Yucatec
Kuali netlekatilispan.
and in Yucatec Maya?
Timac Navidad. Woo!
And in Spanish, Feliz Navidad.
Great.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thanks for a great semester, guys. Very much enjoyed having you as co-hosts. I will be back next semester.
We won't.
We don't know or are you guys working on your theses? You'll be.
Very
I
busy.
shouldn't have mentioned that, but thank you also very much for coming by today.
Sure. Thank you for inviting
the,
me.
the former host, and that's it for Radio Culture Shock this semester, fall of 2018. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Felices fiestas.
Bon année, all of that good stuff. We will see you next semester.